Hello, this is Frankie Hammer, and this is my intercultural experience for speech, and I'm going to try to do my best in my country accent. Alright.
Number 1, where did you go, and why did you select this culture?
I chose the branding iron in San Bernardino because it's definitely something I wouldn't ever see myself doing. I am probably the worst dancer anyone's ever seen, and I'm not sure how I got the courage to do it in Venice. I would never see myself ever doing that. I can't dance for crap. I've only been to school dance once, which was my high school prom, and I definitely don't feel like I missed out on any other dances.
Number 2, what was the experience like? Describe the experience from beginning to end.
As I was driving to the BI, I was extremely nervous and thought about flaking out. But that's not what it was supposed to be about. While standing in line, I was starting to feel slightly comfortable because apparently it was high school night. There seemed to be many other kids my age, so I realized it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But when the bouncer said for Danelle and I to come in, I slowly creaked through the door. I walked in and saw that there were lots of kids dressed in a flannel and a cowboy hat just like me, which was awesome. I got on the floor feeling kind of stupid for not knowing any of the dance moves, but I eventually started to feel pretty good because I started to get really good at line dancing. But it was surprisingly very fun.
Number 3, how did the experience make you feel? Elaborate.
Before the experience, I was like freaking out. I was so nervous. But when it was finished, I was pretty excited and happy I did that because it definitely took me out of my comfort zone. That's for sure.
Number 4, what course concepts could you relate to this experience?
As the night went on, I began to notice it was very high context cultural event. I noticed that it wasn't much of a social event in terms of communication with others. I was only focused on my environment and my silly physical appearance as I was attempting to line dance. Also in chapter 2 we learned about Schwartz's motivational types of values. One value I involved myself in at the BI is stimulation. It certainly made my night more exciting and daring. I never would have ever done that. I can also relate my experience to microcultures in the United States. At the BI, most of the people dressed like cowboys, line dance and sang hit music all night long. I was in a completely different culture I was used to experiencing, and it's only 20 minutes from my house. In chapter 5, we learned about perceptual context. One thing I definitely experienced at the Brandon 9 was stereotyping. I walked in the door thinking what all these hicks look like, and which was rude of me, but that is part of how I overcame my nervousness and stereotyping others. Also, while in Venice, we were supposed to not just watch other cultures around us, but really jump into and experience it firsthand. I knew the country music culture existed, but I didn't really understand any of it until I jumped in and engaged myself into the culture.
Number 5, what did you learn from the experience?
From the experience, I learned that I shouldn't just sit back in my own culture with my normal friends and always doing things I normally do. I need to engage myself into other cultures and experience firsthand how fun and informational they can be. I definitely want to go back next week and give the line dancing another try. Yeehaw!
Number 6, what can we learn from you in your experience?
I think you can learn the same thing I did from the experience. If I didn't have to do this assignment, I wouldn't have had so much fun tonight. Nor would I want to try other things that I wouldn't normally do. You should want to enjoy new experiences, and you never know, they could even be life-changing. And that is my assignment.